So hi boys and girls, welcome to our math lesson, one of our math lessons for the week. And this one is about 3D shapes, three-dimensional shapes. Last week we did a lesson about two-dimensional shapes. Those are your flat shapes that have length and width. And these are our 3D shapes, and they have length and width and height, all three. So these are the ones that you don't just have to look at, you can hold in your hand. First, we're going to go over the characteristics of the most common 3D shapes, and then we're going to make them out of our, oh, what did you do? Mr. Blue, that's a cone, but you're going to hurt your teeth on that. Call the dentist. Isn't he the best? He's so funny. So, this one, we might as well start with it. It's a cone, right? You know about cones. So here's the cone. It has one vertex, one curved surface, you can see how that's curved, and a base or a face. And what's the shape of this face or base? Right, it's a circle. So, a cone, that's one. And it also has, one edge. This one edge that kind of goes around the bottom part of it. It's not really sharp, but you can really feel it with your finger. All right, another shape, another 3D shape that has an edge here and an edge here. So two edges, two faces that are circles. Did you see that circle shape? Yeah. And what else? One curved surface. Good. And this one, I didn't tell you the name. It's a cylinder. Cylinder. Cone. Right? And we have one more. Oh, and the cylinder, does it have any vertices? No. This one, you know the name of it. It looks like a ball. It's called a sphere, right? Sphere, kind of hard to say. And guess what? Doesn't have any edges, doesn't have any vertices. It just has one curved surface. And I know it probably reminds you of a ball, but we're not going to throw it because this one's made out of wood. So, then, we have, oops, this one's rolling around. Stop. So far, cone, cylinder, and sphere. Good. This one is called, you're like, that's a triangle. No, it's not. Look, it's 3D. This is called a square pyramid. And we have some of our important words up here. Edge, edges. We got to find the edges on this square pyramid. 1, 2, 3, 4. Keep track of where you're counting so you don't recount them. 5, 6, 7, 8. I remembered where I started and I didn't turn the shape as I was counting. That helped. So this one has 8 edges. Look. And let's count the vertices. That's the other thing that we've got to count and know where we are. I'm going to start with the top because that's easy. 1, 2, 3, 4, and one back here, 5. 5 vertices, 8 edges. The base of it is one of the faces and it's a square. That's why it's called a square pyramid. And then these faces, 1, 2, one back here, 3, 4. Are all what shape? Triangles. Got it? Good for you. This is a square pyramid. And one more block shape that we have. You know this one. It's a cube. Kind of the shape of your dice or anything that has all square faces. Look at that. Every face is a square. And all of the edges are the same length because all the faces are squares. And this is one of the hardest ones to count, all the faces and vertices. So we'll hold it still. 1, we'll do vertices first. 1, 2, 3, 4. Flip to the bottom. 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 vertices. Now we'll hold it still again to count the faces. 1, 2, 3, 4. But then don't forget these, 5, 6. 6 faces, and the hardest one is counting these edges. 1, 2, 3, 4. Around the bottom. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So you've got to figure out a system for when you're counting those, if you're ever asked a question about that, that you know where you started so you know where you finished. 12 edges in this cube. Crazy, huh? All right. So today, we are going to dive into making some of our 3D shapes. Will we be able to make a cone or a sphere or a cylinder? No, because we only have toothpicks, which are straight, and marshmallows. But let's start with our triangular pyramid. And if a square pyramid has a square base, what does a triangular pyramid have? A triangle base. So we're going to start just by making this triangle. I'll hold it up for you. But then I'm going to have to go down and set it on the counter in front of me or it's going to start breaking, isn't it? Just like it did on Friday. Remember they all started, or on Thursday, they all started moving around. So I'm going to start with a triangle like that. You got that? Then I'm going to put one edge, one toothpick in each of the vertices. And I'm going to kind of angle them in a little bit so that I can start putting them all together. So see, I've got that like that. Then what I'll do is I'll work down here for a second and then I'll show you. Put these two together. And however many edges the shape has, that's how many toothpicks you're going to use. Okay, and then I'm going to put this one like that. And now every face of this triangular pyramid is a triangle. Even the base. Boom. So there, you made a triangular pyramid. You can stop the video whenever you need to catch up. So there's one. Now we're going to make a square pyramid. How many edges do we need to make a square base? 4. Are you thinking the same thing? Yep. So I need 4 toothpicks, 4 marshmallows. Gonna make a square. That's a piece of cake, right? No, a piece of cake is usually not square. Well, sometimes it might be. So, here you go. 4 vertices, 4 sides or 4 edges to make your square, like that. Good. Then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put 4 more toothpicks in for 4 more edges that stand up out of each vertex. And I think you probably know how to do this from things like Tinker Toys and everything. You see what I've done? Now my next step is to put more vertices on. One there and one there, you see it? And then I'm going to connect those quick so they don't fall over with another edge. It might be kind of fun to start with your 12 edges and right at the beginning. And then you would know that you had the right number of edges to make a cube. Just so get out 12 toothpicks right to begin with. Because remember, we counted the edges on our cube. There. Now am I done? What do I have to do now? I need to connect the top ones. I need 2 more edges. 2 more toothpicks. And I connect it into those vertices. And this is a little wiggly. Here we are. Here, let's compare. Whoops. Oh. There you go. There's the cube, the sample cube made out of wood. And here's my cube made out of toothpicks and marshmallows. Okay, now we're going to make a square pyramid like this. So what do I need to make first? Right. Did you say base? You're right. What shape is that base? Square, right? How many edges am I going to need to make this pyramid? to make this square pyramid? Well, I'm going to need 4 for the bottom, right? 4 edges, 1, 2, 3, 4 more edges, 4 plus 4, 8. I'm going to get out 8 toothpicks right to start with. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1 more, 8. And how many vertices does this have? Right, 1 here on the top, 4 around, I need 5 marshmallows. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, yep, put 1 back, boop. All right, and you told me already, what shape do I start with to make the base for a square pyramid? A square, that's how it gets its name. A square pyramid starts with a square. This one could be a little bit harder to get it to connect to the top. So just be ready for a little bit of a challenge, okay? I know some of you are saying, it's easy, I already did it. So I start with my square base with 4 edges. And then I put in 4 more edges, 1 in each of the vertices. Boom, boom, boom. Then, so here I go. See what I got? And then we're going to start leaning them in towards this middle vertex right at the top. Whoops, it's falling over. But if you catch it with the other toothpicks, you've got it. And there you are, a square pyramid with a square base and triangular faces. There you are, so good for you. You made 3 3D shapes. A triangular pyramid, woo, a cube, and a square pyramid. Oops, my hand's in the way. There you go. Now, so your jobs after you make these are these. You are going to do page 183 in your math book and have a grown-up check it for you, just to review some of the things we were learning before we left. Then, here's the fun part. You are going to make a shapes museum at home using 3D shapes. So you are going to look for things that are cubes, things that are square and triangular pyramids, things that are cones and spheres and cylinders, and try to gather 1 or 2 of each of those and make a shapes museum. Line them up, label them with what they're called. If you want to write a little sticky note next to each one saying, this is a square pyramid. It has 8 edges and 5 vertices and 5 faces. And put an example of it out there from something you find at home. That would be awesome. So label the things, write what you know about them. And then bring some of your stuffed animals or some members of your family to your shapes museum. So your job would be to make that and then try to send me a picture of it. I would love to see how creative you are with your shapes museum. Be sure to ask a grown-up at home what you can use. A lot of good things could be found in the kitchen, in your toy room. Make sure you don't use anything breakable for your shapes museum. But I'm excited to see what you come up with and where you decide to set it up. And I know you're going to be great. So you have a great day. Have fun with this lesson. And then when you're done, you can eat a couple more marshmallows. But still save some. I have one more activity with these. Not involving shapes, but one more thing I want to do with these. So don't eat them all yet. Okay. Have a great day. Bye.